How's it going, beautiful brothers and sisters of existence, of experience? I think, for me personally in this world, the world boggles us all down. I get a sense, right, from what we see and the words and judgments placed upon us all the time. But another thing that really brings me down personally is the thoughts of things that I've done in my life or the people that I've hurt, It's like how powerful I say our words are. The sword, it's so powerful. It really is, and everybody's got one. Your words are truly, 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 and like it can empower somebody or it can detriment them in so many ways, especially someone who's not up here, not strong enough. There's no connection here. They're not even, thinking about how deep this is, how deep existence is, and how powerful they are, But that's not what I'm here to talk about. That's just, y'all know me. That's how I am. Powerful as fuck. I know we are. That's what I try to say. But that's not what I'm here to say. It eats me up alive, bruh, to know what I did in this moment in time or this moment in time in the past where I, in relationships, cheated on somebody or, used my words, my sword to tear them down when I was supposed to empower them and love them. And what I've come to realize is I observe everything around me and everybody and every dynamic of this world is some of us can see that in our own self. Like we can, some people look at everything and say, this person did me wrong. This person did me wrong. That person did me wrong. They did this, they did that. And they never say like, maybe I did something wrong too. And 9 times out of 10, man, you could have done more than even the other person did. In my life personally, I'm going to give you a story of my life. I grew up and I had people that I loved tremendously, man. Best friends, I had one of my best friends, his name was Zach, and he's no longer with us. God rest your soul, my brother. I mean, I already know, but he's just doing his own thing in another realm, or he's internally at rest, so it's always a bless regardless. Neither here nor there. I was in a relationship with a girl. Her name was Dottie. And I treated her like absolute dirt. She was one of the better relationships that I've had. She truly was. And in all of what was happening, I was with her for, like maybe 2 years, something like that, a good amount of time. And, I treated her really bad, cheated on her multiple times and everything like that. And then in the end, one of my best friends and her, after me and her broke up, because obviously I didn't deserve her anymore. I didn't deserve to be in that situation. They got together. And I think that this is a story that a lot of us face in this world where this can happen in relationship dynamics as the vessel, as the human being. And something about me in those days, it destroyed me. It truly did. I lost her. I lost him. Not only that, but one of my other friends, Michael, they all ended up moving into an apartment together, and I was kind of cast aside I still had other beautiful friends and brothers around me, thank God. People that came into my life at the time that I needed them. I couldn't be more grateful for those people because I had that was my life, was those people, specifically those 3, and that was it. And it turned me into, a self-reflective state of everything. And I became an alcoholic. And, I see exactly how things happen in this world and how certain things happen to us. And we can use all that to really put ourselves way down, way, way, way down in our own mind and our own soul, our own spirit. We put our spirit down. And sometimes we deserve it in some aspects, is how I see it. Fast forward a year after all that had happened, okay? In time, I somehow ended up getting back around all three of them in a very weird, and in somebody else's mind and somebody else's perception, it could be looked at and frowned upon, or I'm weak, or I'm a pussy for simply forgiving all of them. And there's so much power in that release and forgiveness of another individual in this world. Like, you have to understand that this is so that we build walls on each other's minds and our souls. But I spent my whole life loving these people, and I spent 2 years loving that girl, and I'll love her to the day I die, as I love any other women I've been with. It's the forgiveness is so, so powerful too. And because you can't hold all that in. There's no room inside your being, I'm telling you, to just have all of that negative and all of that just bad thoughts, oh, they did me this way, that way, blah, blah, blah. But what did you do? And specifically, for me specifically in this situation, I was horrible. In my mind, karma and everything that happened to me, I deserved every single bit of what happened. It happened. I can't really explain to somebody. Only if you were in my life at the time would you know how truly and tough this could be for somebody. Not everybody has to go through these things, but I went through that. I forgave them, and fast forwarding to where I'm at in this life right now, I think we've all kind of forgiven each other. I mean, Zach has passed on, so there's no forgiveness. I mean, I can't necessarily say that I did him. Obviously in life we all do each other wrong in some ways, but we were friends, we were brothers, and before he passed, hopefully he had mad love for me as I do for him, even whenever all these really tough things happen in this world. It's so important. I'm just coming on here and I'm just kind of saying it to the phone because that's just one example. There's many in my life. Many. Here's another example of how I feel about my own self. When I was a junior in high school, me and one of my good friends, Michael, once again, Michael, we took a lunch break, or during lunch, we left school, went to Michael's house, and at this time we were we're juniors in high school, and we were very much so doing a lot of stupid stuff. Very much so dependent on alcohol and drugs and weed and all of that, obviously, that a lot of people go through. Not everybody. If you're smart enough to stay clear sometimes of certain ways, you'll be better off, I think. But even so, you can learn lessons from everything. And we took lunch, went to his house, crushed up some Xanax, snorted them, got super, 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 super fucked up. Went back to school. I passed out in my next class after lunch. He, on the other hand, was in a different class. He stayed awake, and it was obvious how fucked up he was. So the office calls him, not even me, to the office. And this guy, we're so fucked up, he says, Derek, they called us to the office, but low key, they didn't even call me, come to find out. It is what it is, because it was still a great experience. But this right here is one of the eats me alive more than I could ever even try to explain to somebody. This is how much words affect me and what I've done in my own world. We go to the office and we're texting each other because he's in the office with the principal and I'm sitting just in the lobby waiting to get my turn with the principal, because now I'm in it. They didn't really know, but now I'm in it because he told me to go. Because I slept in my class, so they didn't even know. Not even, I'm giving too much. I'm just saying too much. But we're texting, and I remember I was texting him, and I was like, these stupid fat fucking bitches. How fucked up is that? I'm like, these stupid fat fucking bitches, they, this and that, whatever. Just being a kid. I was, not only that, but I was beyond fucked up on Xanax. But this eats me alive to this day. because the teachers and everybody in the office, they took Michael's phone, and I guess for some reason he didn't have a code, and for some reason they were able to go through it, and I guess it's legal. I don't know. I can't. This is so long ago, and none of this matters anymore. But it's like, this is a confession. This is a true, out into the world, to God, to everything. It's like, when I said that, and those beautiful beings, those beautiful people that were there, even though I hate school and I hate the indoctrination, they were there for us, and I loved them. They just don't. They probably after that, I feel like I was looked at as a solid, not necessarily a negative, kid. I probably was a little bit, but not to the extent that it was after the fact. Because then it's look at this fucking, I judged them. I didn't even judge them. I was just being a dick. Calling somebody else such horrible words with my powerful sword that is my fucking voice, and so is everybody else's. And I say this, and then I couldn't, how that, I know how it can feel, because I've felt it from other people's judgments upon me. So I know how it feels. And it's I know how strong I am in this world, and how my forgiveness throughout my entire life, I've been forgiving so many people for so many things, because I know me. I know that I've made so many mistakes, if not worse mistakes, and if not more mistakes. It's something that I feel like a lot of people don't have, that they don't do. They have it, but they won't do it. It's that reflection. They can't look at themselves and say that, okay, I've done this, this, and this. And then someone did this, this, and this. And that forgiveness that you can have for them, you might not ever get it back in return from what you've done to them, but at least you need to recognize in yourself and try to forgive yourself, because that's hard for me, because like I said, I think about this is 13 years ago, and it's something that's not the end of the world, but I love those people. They don't know it. I don't know if they'll ever know it. Maybe, hopefully, that's why I make videos like this, so they can maybe, in the end, when we get to there, because this point is already beautiful, but when, as the journey continuously progresses, even if they never know, I know, God knows, whoever watches this video knows, it's that is truly something that I would, it eats me alive to this day, that I said something so fucked up to people, or even just judging people, or even there's other things that I think about. Here's another one where I was young. I was 5th, 6th grade, and there was this kid named Patrick. Bro, this dude's he's a genius. This kid was always a genius. This kid was awesome. But in the programming of life, me and my other friends, popular, thinking that we're popular and that this kid's a nerd or whatever. And then we do this kid dirty, we were bullying him. That hurts me to this day. To this day. And I love you, brother. I don't know if you're ever I could actually hit him up. I added him on Facebook. I could probably go and ask for his forgiveness. And maybe one day I might. It means a lot to me. Now that I know it, now that I see, now that I can sense how powerful we are, our words, our actions towards one another, and then seeing exactly how things are done and why they're done a certain way. And it hurts, but it's all love. And I think, this video is really for me to kind of get it off my chest, some of the things that I've done that eat me alive to this day. But it's all love to everybody, even the ones that don't like me. You know what I mean? If you don't like me, I got it. I understand. I've been in almost any space in my head, or I can observe myself in all kinds of aspects of what I've done and where I've been and how I've treated somebody and how they've treated me. That's why I hold no grudges. I hold nothing, and I forgive everything for the most part. It's very, 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 very hard to forgive the potential of what is being done to us that most people can't even fathom. And that is so hard to forgive. It really is. you know, the programs and stuff like that, that is hard for me to forgive. And maybe I'm working towards it. I can't tell you. I know that I'm playing out something here. We all are. It's beautiful. I love you guys. You don't, not everybody knows. Not everybody can see. They can see, but they can't see, if that makes sense. They can see, but that seeing was never amounting to anything to them. And that's my whole goal, is to show you, you can see. You are powerful. I don't need to have tarot cards. I don't need to have a Bible verse. I'm telling you the truth. You are beyond powerful. Okay? And forgiveness is beyond powerful. There's no weight. You can't hold the weight in here. You know, I understand being upset with self, but you cannot be upset with the other beautiful existent beings around you, because we all have made mistakes. And it's really powerful to understand that you've made mistakes too. That you're not this perfect vessel, chosen, blah, blah, blah. Like, you are chosen. Trust me. Whoever watches this video, you were chosen because you exist. I promise you. You're beautiful. Your design is beautiful. No matter what anybody ever says. In the subjective mind, the subjective world, there's ideas of beauty that have been programmed to us. Everything is fucking beautiful. It exists. Subjective. When you look at something, you decide. And for the most part, for me, I've been beauty, 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 love, 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 essence, essence, essence. All good, good, good. Programming the mind. Divinity, divinity, divinity. Blessed beyond belief, all of us. And that's how I live now. That's how I see the world. That's how I see myself. That's how I see everybody else around me. Truly, truly, like, right now, if you were to say that this was all we would ever have, I would be totally content with that. If you would tell me that there is no afterlife, none of this, none of that, I would not care. I'd be totally content with that. I cannot believe that I got to do this. That's how deep everything can get for any of us if you just sit back and just realize the simplicity of how powerful your mind is. You know, I love you guys. I really, truly love you guys. You know, even if you're this way or this way, here's your belief pattern here, your belief pattern here, and something that I say or do opposes you, well, I'm sorry to be the opposition to you. That's why I don't align myself with not one group. That's why I program my mind for simple one God, which is, it's like people want to know everything about God. It's like you don't know about everything about God because God is experiencing everything through you. Okay, you are everything. That's why I try to tell you how special and valuable your vessel is, how special you are. And then if you're not on the same wavelength, the same frequency, the same mind, the same thought that I'm on, you're going to develop things about me. You're going to develop oppositional thoughts about me just because I'm not aligning with your selected group. I don't choose groups. I would never. I'm my own special little piece, and so are you. Do you not see? You should never have to have somebody else tell you how, like, I'm doing it because I don't see it being done in the way that I would do it. And that's why I do it this way. I don't need to give you these things. I don't need to give you words. I don't need to put myself above you. I don't need to walk on water to show you how powerful we are. Which Jesus, if he did, and I love Jesus more than, I'm telling you, more than anybody around me, bro. I love Jesus. I love the story, the idea. But he's within you. He's within us all. You know, that's what I mean. It's in here. If it's Muhammad for you, Allah for you, it's in here. Buddha in here. It's all within you. You can put all the words you want on it. Just know it's there. That's how you're doing anything. You see what I'm saying? I know that that's tough for a lot of people. The opposition's crazy. And, you know, kind of taking a turn here in the video because I started off about forgiveness and now I'm going back to other things, but that's where I am in myself and in my mind. That's why it's all over the place. My mind is like, I know how powerful it is. I know my thoughts. I know what's going on. It's just so much for me at one time that it's hard for me to dial into one and to keep it on track. But I love you guys more than you will ever know, whoever it is on the other side. Because when I say that I love myself and I love God, how could I not love you? How could I not love you on the other side of this screen? How could I not? Do you feel me? Does that make sense to anybody? I love you guys.